Hi everyone, my name's Robin. I'm here today to share a 15-minute warm-up that you can do solo on its own, or you can pair it with an at-home yoga practice. So if you're struggling with ideas around how to warm up your body when you're feeling a little perhaps unmotivated, this is just some simple exercises that you can do pretty much mindlessly. The first section is for our joints to help us prevent inflammation in the joints. Our second round is strengthening for our core and our digestive system. And then we have a few basic stretches that would then prepare you for either an asana practice, dance practice, or just your day. So if you want to join me, here we go. So we're going to start with the joint routine. So we'll start first through our hands, just squeezing the fingers, opening the fingers, squeezing, opening, back and forth like this a few times. And then we'll begin to flick our fingers like we're flicking water around the room even. And then we'll begin to spread our fingers super wide and bring them back together, spreading them wide, back together. So we're just mobilizing all the different ways that these fingers can move. Good, and then we'll move to the wrists. We'll go up with the fingers, down, up, and down several times. Again, just warming up these joints. Lubrication is key for your joints. And then we're gonna go side to side, like windshield wipers, palms facing down. And then we'll just do some circles. So circling them in one direction and then in the other direction. Nice. And then interlacing our hands together. You're gonna start with your elbow facing up. Do this little wave. Elbow comes to the other side and back down. But the key is that we're focusing on the fingers and the wrists. So as you go down, you're really pushing down. As you go up, you let your wrist bend as much as it will before it's painful. We'll go the other direction. Nice. And then we'll move on to the elbows. So just a few times. Arms out, touching the shoulders. Back and forth. Good. And then placing the hands on the shoulders, drawing the elbows together. We'll inhale as you bring them up and away. And exhale, bringing them down. Nice. So starting to get the breath involved a little bit more as we add bigger movements. And then we'll go a few circles in the other direction. Nice. And then placing them down. We're going to do the same thing with the feet. So first we're going to squeeze the toes and open the toes. Just the toes squeezing, open, squeeze, open. Then, like we did with the fingers, where you spread out the fingers, try to spread out the toes and then relax. Spread them out as wide as you can and relax. Spread and relax. Good. And then we'll point the toes, flex the toes. So getting into the ankles. Still paying attention to the rest of your body as you're doing this, so we're not hunching. And then we're doing side to side windshield wipers. So as you windshield wipe, also feel that the ankles attached to the hip bones. You can even place your hands on the hips and just feel the rotation of also the hip bone. And then we'll do some circles. One way and the other way. Nicely done. And then just to get a little more into the hips, we'll draw a knee into the chest. Take a breathe in. Breathe out, let go. Go to the other knee. Switch. 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 Nice. And then we'll bring our feet together. We're going to reach down with the spine And just gently flap your butterfly wings as you breathe. Good. We'll bring that up. Now we're going to lay on our backs and activate our core muscles through a few exercises. This is also helping us, helping our digestive system work a little bit more efficiently. So we're going to take a couple breaths rest in between each exercise. So the first one, we're just going to lift both feet up. You can place your hands underneath your low back. We'll take a breath in. As you breathe out, lower your heels to the ground. You can go all an inch above the ground or higher, whatever feels most doable for you. We'll go back and forth, just up and down, using your breath. Nice. We'll rest, drop the legs, drop the arms. Stay here for a few breaths. Good. And then we'll place the hands underneath the back again. We're going to bend the knees and we're just going to begin to bicycle our legs. So bicycling them forward, trying to draw your low spine onto the ground. And we're going to go the other direction. Drawing your lower spine towards the ground. Good. And then we're going to drop both legs and allow ourselves to rest for a few breaths here. Arms by the sides. Legs out straight and breathing. Good. And then we're going to take our hands down by our sides, touching the outside of our legs, and then lifting our chest, our shoulders off the mat, trying to draw that low back down to the ground. Gentle squeeze of the belly button in towards the spine, and then we're going to tilt from side to side, activating the obliques just a little bit. You don't have to reach too far towards the knee, although you can. Just being careful of those little floating ribs there. Don't want to squish them up too hard. Good, and then we'll lower back down, arms down, legs down, taking a few breaths here. Good. Now we'll take our legs up and try to bring the calves parallel to the ceiling, so the knees are bent, and then we're going to straighten the arms and place the hands on top of the knees, straightening the arms all the way. We're going to push the knees into the hands and the hands into the knees, and you should really feel this deep into your core. So we're trying to activate the deep inner core muscles. From here, now try to also press your low back into the ground, and then we're going to straighten the right leg and arm. Try to draw it together. As you breathe out, we're going to bring it away from each other. Opposite direction with the arm and the leg, and then back together. So back and forth with your own breath. We'll do 2 more here. Good, and then we'll switch sides, straightening the left leg, left arm. Remember to push that right knee into the arm, to the right hand, and the hand into the knee. You're pressing in, first tucking your tailbone in slightly, which pushes your low back into the ground. And then we'll reach the left arm and leg away. As we inhale, exhale, bringing them together. So back and forth. 2 more here. Still pressing the low back in. Last one. Good. And then we'll rest our legs and our arms down by our sides. Well, the legs not down by the sides, but you know what I mean, hopefully. Taking 2 breaths here. Nice. And then we'll push ourselves onto our sides and push on up. So hopefully your digestive system got a little bit of waking up and activating of that core. We're going to move into a few different stretches to prepare ourselves for whatever we have coming after this session. So the first one is like you're kind of rowing a boat. So we're going to lean forward with straight legs, reaching the arms, and then pulling back as we lean far back, bringing the hands into the shoulders, up to the shoulders, and then back around. With your breath. So here we're still working the joints of the shoulders and the elbows, and we're also beginning to elongate the hamstring muscles and a lot of the muscles in the back of the legs. Nice. From here, we're going to widen the legs. So we're in a wide-legged sit. And like you have a big wooden stick, is what I imagine. You're going to lean, hold onto that stick and lean forward towards your left toes. And then circle all the way forward to your right toes, leaning back as far as you can, and coming back around. So as you're coming forward, you're leaning forward, you're reaching over as you come to the side. As you lean back, you should also feel your core stabilizer muscles trying to keep you from falling on your back. And you can attempt going as far back as you can and try to fall on your back just to see how far you can get. I can't do that right now because of the wall behind me. Nice. From there, we're going to come up here to our squat. If this squat is not accessible for your body, you can always come here. This is gonna help prepare you if you can't get super low. You know, you can come here, maybe you're here, or maybe your sit bones can come all the way down here. Wherever you're at, it's perfect. We're just inspiring more mobility and strength in the body with these exercises. So we're sitting here, trying to push the elbows away into the knees, pushing the knees gently away from each other. Taking a few breaths here. So this is also because the thighs are touching the stomach. We're stimulating the digestive tract here too. So from here, we're going to place our hands underneath our feet. If you can't reach underneath your feet, so perhaps if you're here, you can, but you can also just do this with your hands underneath your knees as well. That could work. So hands are underneath the feet if you can reach them, or you can try a different position that's similar. We're going to inhale and reach our chest towards the sky. And then as you exhale, breathing out through the mouth, you'll straighten the legs and bend down. Just doing a few more of those. Nice, and then we'll stand up. So our final one before we close out this sequence, I'm going to lift this camera up just a little bit more. All right, so our final action is a breath exercise, but that's also highly stimulating for the heart. Your heart will be beating faster afterwards, along with all these different movements that we are able to access deeper mobility into the shoulders eventually over time. So this one is also a really good way of addressing any anger or low energy or things in your sphere that at this time you would like to chop away. So if you can think of anything in your present experience or in your life that you just want to chop away, you can also use that visualization. Let's hopefully not make it images of people. We want to send love, not hate towards that. But maybe we're chopping the idea of our anger towards them away or something like this. So imagining we have a big piece of wood right in front of us. We're going to have an axe in our hand. And you're going to have loose bent knees, wide-legged stance. We're going to inhale as you lift the axe, inhaling through the nose, reaching all the way up. That's how my hands look. And then as I exhale, I'm going to bend the knees and breathe vigorously out through the mouth with a lot of pressure on my belly. So it goes like I'm bogging up a mirror in front of me. Keep going. So you're really pushing the breath out through your belly, pushing it all out so you can feel it through the throat. And if you look from the side, I'm just bending straight down. I'm not leaning forward or allowing this to collapse my structured spine in any way. So it's very strong breaths. It's a strong hit with the arms like you have an axe. Feeling your belly squeezing in. We'll do a few more. 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. From here, you can be a little lightheaded, so just take a moment to walk around your space, catching your breath. And then we're ready to sit back down. So taking a moment as you're seated to feel your heart pumping blood throughout your system. Perhaps closing your eyes and sensing all of the heat. Where do you feel the heat in your body? Taking a few moments to breathe deeply into your belly, perhaps. Nice and slow. Beginning to lengthen your breath slightly, as if you're massaging your heart and bringing your heart rate down as you breathe. Beautiful. Thank you so much. So that was our 18-minute exercise. Great warm-up in the morning. First thing you get out of bed. If you want to experiment with this, you can tweak it however you'd like, but just as long as we're waking up the joints, adding a little heat into the body and stretching different muscles, it's a great way to warm up before going into a workout, a yoga session, a run, or just your day at work. So come back for more tips. I don't know about tips, maybe like offerings. And thanks so much. Bye.